Hello, welcome back to another Paper Pioneer live commentary, and this one is part of our coveted Jank Week. So these games are going to showcase some decks that aren't necessarily in the meta, but we think it's a bit fun to, just have a bit of a brew. Right,
Y-
Dave?
Yeah, that's right, John. This is we Junk Week or New Brew Friday. We like to do on the first Friday of the official set launch. Everyone's had a pre-release weekend, got a few new cards. So either you throw back to something you've used to play in previous standards, or you just bring something new. And yeah, we have a Boris Hammer Time list just leading into some of the newer cards. And is it pirates? Well, it definitely is pirates today because we have the deck list and see that there is 24 creatures, all with the tag pirate. We don't see that every day, John.
No, we don't. It's interesting that they've gone the is it route because the last pirate deck I've seen that was in a standard set that was in a standard format was blue black. So an is it version of this,
Yeah.
like starting with Fanatical Firebrand, which normally you'd only see in a goblin deck, but it's showing up here. So
Well,
like
it's a 1-1 for one haste, it does the thing. And I think they're just talking over like again, it's classic with our Jank Weeks is that you see cards which you just don't see. So there's a lot of the like let me have a read things. And here we have Concophony Scamp on turn one. The newer creature that we've seen from Phyrexia will be one. The dangerous 2020 combo that can happen on turn two.
it's possible that the turn two win could be here. I can't really see exactly what's in the Hammertime player's hand. Any wily goblin, right? I know they're both pirates, but coincidentally, they're also both goblins. Dave, are you sure this is not goblins?
This is definitely not goblins. We do see some. We do see some Captain Lannery Storm and Prosperous Pirate. We do even have some fire cannon blasts as well to really lean into the pirate theme. Flipping over a land here, I guess, to play an open the armory. Yeah, that's right.
And open the armory, yeah. So this is he's probably searching in here. Yep, the hammer. And so this player is setting up for the potential to deal the 20 damage, and in response, the pirate player quite smartly decides to just deal with the creature outright. So let's get rid of the problem. Don't want to deal with that,
Yeah.
and being able to do that instant speed as well is just open up sort of a free turn for the pirate player.
Yeah, it may have looked like a bit of a 2-for-1, but it was to stop me from dying play, right? That you
Yeah, definitely.
the hammer coming out means that would have been a equip for 10, hit you for 10, sack for 10. So and a Captain Nanory Storm, a bit of a classic art as well, has been reprinted as part of the Multiverse Legends in the latest set. Cool little card, and actually into standard, right? I believe.
I don't believe I've ever seen a Lannery Storm when it was standard legal. I'll be honest. It's
Uh,
not something I
it's
would say was very prominent when pirates were like a viable standard list. Like I said, it used to be just a blue black list.
Right, yeah, it's Pioneer legal anyway, but not but printed again on that Multiverse Legends element. And yeah, we've got the Firebrand Charger with a attached hammer, so having to
Yeah,
painfully take 13 there.
it's massive, especially since the creature gain haste because it's equipped as one of its rules. So it's a bit. It kind of, I guess, like the pirate player needs to have removal for the card right now, and because he's gone the red route, there isn't a clean way necessarily.
Yeah, a Sailor of
And
Means.
so this is just another sort of treasure check generator. And we talk about Captain Lannery Storm, and one of the things she does is that she gets bigger the more treasures you use.
Mm-hmm.
So not only does she generate mana value, she could also just get bigger. And we're seeing the pirate player think about it, and he's decided not to do it. But he could have done 5 damage there, which I can understand it's not really worth doing right at the moment. But with only 2 cards in hand, he has a blocker back. He has a blocker back. But if he's able to give the creature trample at all, I don't think Izzet Pirates are going to be able to do it. And a Skrelv as well. So the Skrelv's going to be. If the Izzet Pirates player needs to deal with the hammer, right? But I don't believe there's any sort of main deck answers, not in the form of a braid, not in the form of a bounce spell either. And I think this is more a testament to the fact that he's a pirate player just went full ham on the theme, right? If you look at it, a look at the deck list, he runs Fiery Cannonade, Fire Cannon Blast, Prying Blade, Fell Flagship. These are all literally very thematical.
But you'd love to see it, right? It's the spirit of the evening and the spirit of the cards. But it's going to potentially come up a cropper here in this particular matchup.
Yeah.
Lightning Rig Crew. It is a Goblin Pirate. Another Goblin Pirate.
Right? I'm starting to see some Goblin sub synergy here. But the Lightning Crew, again, in a way, it doesn't necessarily fit the theme.
That was a fight. That
too
was
much.
A fiery cannonade that just got pushed across there.
Fiery Cannonade to get rid of the Skrelv, so that the Hammertime player does not have an easy way to get through. But it is only a matter of time.
Kargan Intimidator
Oh,
activated it, and obviously making the Goblin a coward. Yep, there we go. And that's going to get it through. And that's going to be game one. And
it's an interesting tech, that one, because sort of the context of just turning a creature into a coward just to open a way is something a deck like Hammertime needs to get through sometimes, right? The hammer itself, despite being massive, doesn't have trample, which I would say is a bit of an oversight in the design of that card. I don't know, Dave. What do you think?
I think it keeps it fair and I think it keeps it fair and keeps it balanced. Makes the hammer decks have to have a little bit more thought behind them to get the combo off. And we'll just be going shortly to game 2 to take a look at that. Back in some more action. Thank you for making this part of the video. And if you've made it here and you haven't hit subscribe, what's wrong with you? You like this content clearly, so subscribe, see more of it in your feed. Around 75% of you are not subscribed, so let's get some more people on the road to 1,000. There is a code card hidden in the screen in this segment, so if you use it, drop us a comment and keep an eye on every sideboard section where we do put a hidden arena code card. You can always join us here 4 times a week, and you can also join us live in person at Firestone Games in Cardiff every Friday. The ticket link is in the description. If you like other gaming action, mainly card games, but we'll also do the odd video game, you can catch us over on twitch.tv/OldEmoDave. Go give us a follow over there, and when we're live over there, you may see us doing live paper magic, or you might be able to join into a Fortnite lobby or two. Let's now get back to the action. Take a look if Boros Hammer can get that elusive turn 2 kill, or if Izzet Pirates are going to surprise us and be a future mate breaker, or at least have fun whilst doing so. Let's get back to me and John on commentary. We're back here for game 2, and the players are just deciding on their initial mulligan choices. Game 1 went to the Boros Hammer players, so we'll be looking at a turn 1 play from the Izzet Pirates deck. What can you see happening differently after sideboarding, John?
Well, one of the few things that I've noticed in the sideboard, and it could be quite a fun answer. The pirate player does run dual shot, but as we've seen, a lot of the Hammertime players' creatures are all 1 toughness.
Yes.
Dual shot is a very interesting tech that could actually be relevant here. Another one being Act of Treason and Hijack. So you imagine sort of just taking the player's creature with the hammer and just smacking him back with it. Yep. So those are the only 2 things I can see. Hammertime, I'm not sure what their sideboard plan is against pirates. It's not a very common archetype, is it? You sort of.
This is your stay on play. This is your stay on brand game, isn't it? When you just don't know what you're up against, or you've not seen it. If you know what you're planning, you stay on plan. Everyone's sideboard has that removal / protection that may come in. But yeah, I think Hammertime is just as normal, going for that eternal turn 2 combo. Have to say, in this evening, before this matchup, I played Boris Hammer and I did get turn 2 comboed. Cacophony Scamp into Sigarda's Aid, attach the hammer, hit me for 20, sack the Cacophony Scamp, dead. It was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing to watch. And thankfully and luckily for me, I didn't I didn't lose in the long run. But he's actually going on a 5 here, which is like a good sign for the Pirates player.
It is a good sign, but it's one thing about Boris Hammer, and it's quite similar to decks like Greasefang and things, is that you're not necessarily mulling to have like a decent hand that can go, like, your game plan isn't necessarily I have X cards that can eventually get to win con. This deck relies almost entirely on its ability to get the hammer as quick as possible on a turn 1 creature, and with a way to put it in for free, right?
Totally.
So it makes sense to go down. The Hammertime player doesn't need that many cards to win, as compared, for most decks. Like, if it has those 3 cards in hand, or at least ways to get to those 3 cards, you tend to have, for example, games like you've had with the Boris Hammertime deck earlier,
mm-hmm.
where you just get one shot in turn 2. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Oh, I believe the Boris Hammertime player still needs to put cards in the bottom.
Okay.
And that hasn't happened. Okay.
Okay.
Well, Jank Week, I guess, right?
Yeah. We can call it. We can call him and give him an update after the game. Standard turn 1 play, Firebrand, Skrelv. Smartly gonna really just keep an eye on this Skrelv. I would like to see them get rid of this Skrelv in end step. That would be my expectation.
So unfortunately, mistargeting there. So the Pirates player tried to kill the coward-making barbarian, but obviously Skrelv was there on the board. It was just gonna protect. So an unfortunate misplay there. And like you said, Dave, he should have gone for the Skrelv.
I think that's. Do you know what that is? That's the common like paper magic mistake, which we will fall down to that in a previous game, the Kargan caused me to lose. So you're hyper focused on remove what killed me before, when in reality it's going to be the Skrelv that kills you this time.
Yeah, and I think it is down to a bit of like it is sort of that tunnel vision that you sometimes get, especially when you're in an environment where you've played like a couple competitive games, and you're like, what's the road to victory for me? And for the Is It Pirates player, it was take care of the barbarian, but ignoring that Skrelv could be costly. I mean, in a lot of ways, that Boris Hammer player might not even have had that Skrelv.
Yeah,
really?
For sure. Well. Interesting line. We see a Cacophony Scam get played, but we saw them go and get a Lizard Blades, the 2/2 equipment, which the equipment creature that attaches for double strike. The Lightning Goblin attempted to target the Kargan again, but they tapped the Skrelv, which did make them take life. But okay.
So actually, what happened there is that particular pirate doesn't target creatures at all. It can only target players. So what it was an end of turn. Was it meant to be an end of turn? I tap this, I deal 1 damage. But one thing we also might have nearly forgotten was that was just played last turn, so it could not have been able to do that.
Sure. So they corrected it slightly then.
Yeah. So now the player is attempting to just tap 2, deal the 1. And one thing here is, for every pirate you play, it untaps. So it's kind of similar to other cards where if you play an instant or sorcery, it untaps. Edge is a continuous pinging thing. A 0-5 wall as well, which may be relevant now, as we've seen no real equipment in terms of hammer being put on to the creatures. But then, I don't know. Like, he searched for lizard blades, well, and we've seen it being played here. Is this just the play now where he'll Skrelv, protect it from red, double strike through for free? Oh, like exactly that. And that now he's just swinging in for 6 for free, which eventually that's got to add up.
Now killing Skrelv there.
Okay. I may have. I don't know. Maybe the appropriate response could have been to react to the barbarian, like shoot him instead, in response to the Skrelv target.
If it already given a hexproof, oh yeah, in response to doing it, yeah,
In response to the trigger,
right, yeah,
and the other thing as well, that was magma spray, so the Skrelv should be exiled. But
hey, when you're playing when you're playing with not necessarily new cards, but cards from yesteryear, you can sometimes make these mistakes, which is why it's important to keep the classic. If you read the card, you know what the card does. There is a wily goblin coming in and making treasures. This is a head. Also, he's got his hand on a headstrong brute right now, which is has menace as long as you control another pirate. So coming in for some damage. So like out of nowhere, the pirate player is up 14 life to 7, and it's like you kind of gotta respect where they're at here. Now, what are they looking to do? The wily goblin. They're looking to target.
They're looking to just chump block the double striker.
Okay, so it's a chump block.
Yeah, so the Boris Hammertime player. So one thing he could have done here was made them both cowards.
Sure,
and then
is that what he's doing?
They wouldn't have been able to block. But and here's a card from yesteryear. Probably not that far in the pass. One of the best win conditions in mono red during the Throne of Eldraine standard format.
Embercleave. So it's double strike with trample.
Double strike. If only that was relevant, but it will give the card trample, which is a very relevant thing here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's possibly an argument to sack the Cacophony Scamp, deal that extra bit of damage, but the Pirates player is passing turn back to the Boris Hammer, and the Boris Hammer player just needs to turn these goblins into cowards, right?
I believe so. Re-equip.
So, at worst, he's taking 2 damage if he blocks the barbarian.
Mm-hmm.
If he decides to block both, and in response, before blockers, he decides to turn the creatures into cowards. It looks like.
Okay.
And cowards cannot block, and that is lethal damage. That is 8 damage,
and there we go.
And that will be game.
Well,
right.
There's no meta shakedown to have over this. This is just a bit of fun putting cards together. When the metas are yet unresolved. Great to see, and just for the guys at home, thanks to your support of this YouTube channel and our relevant Twitch channels. We encourage people to do this so they can get more packs, more benefit, so they can keep the community light and have fun. You can always join us too. The link is in description for our regular night at Firestorm Games in Cardiff. More coming this week of different updates, and then we'll be straight back into meta next week. John, any last words from you?
Well, all I can really say is like and subscribe, guys.
Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the